One day, Lord Shri Krishna and his friend Arjun were strolling in the kingdom. There they saw a very poor brahman was begging in the village. He looked very poor and weak, and his clothes were torn and dirty. He was in very destitute situation. Arjun felt very sorry to see his condition, so he requested Lord Sri Krishna to kind on the poor Brahman. But Sri Krishna refused Arjun to help the Brahman and said, "A man suffers due to his own past deed. If he is poor now, then it is the result of his own deed. No one can change anyone's life unless he wants by himself. If any day he does any good work, then his life will change and he will be freed from his sufferings." But Arjun could not see Brahman's suffering anymore. So he called the Brahman and gave him a packet of 100 gold coins. Arjun said to the Brahman, "Take these gold coins and live your life happily. There should not be any poor person in our kingdom." The poor Brahman took the money and returned home happily. But on his way of returning home, a thief snatched the money bag from his hand and ran away from there. The poor Brahman cried and shouted loudly, but no one came to help him. He became very desperate and returned home empty handed. Next day, Arjun again saw the Brahman begging in the village. So Arjun called him and asked him about the money he had given to him. The poor Brahman became very sad. He explained everything in front of Arjun about the incident happened with him. Arjun felt very sorry for that and again gave him a piece of diamond and said, "Take it carefully and live your life happily." The poor Brahman took the diamond and returned home happily. The Brahman reached home carefully and hid the diamond in a vessel. After hiding the diamond in the vessel, Brahman went to take his bath. At that time, Brahman's wife went to river for water, taking that vessel. As soon as she dropped the vessel into the water, the diamond washed away. When the Brahman returned home, he saw that the vessel was not there. He got to know from his wife that the diamond had been lost in the river. Brahman could not understand what to do. He cried and scolded to his own fate. Next day, the Brahman again went for begging to the village. Arjun became very surprised seeing the man's begging again. Arjun called him and asked him about the piece of diamond he had given to him. The poor Brahman explained everything about the piece of diamond and scolded himself for his ill fated. He said, "I am really an unlucky person. Now no one can change my fate." Saying this, he started crying. Seeing the poor man crying desperately, Arjun became very emotional. So he again requested Lord Shri Krishna with folding handed to kind on the poor man. Seeing Arjun's kindness on the poor Brahman, Lord Shri Krishna agreed to help him. Shri Krishna called the Brahman and gave him only 2 rupees and said, "Take this money and use it in a good work." The poor Brahman took the money and returned home in a sad mood. He thought, "Where 100 gold coins could not change my life, how these 2 rupees can do?" Thinking so, he returned home. On the way of returning, he saw a fisherman was catching a fish in his basket. Brahman felt very sorry seeing the fish dying in pain being out of the water. The Brahman purchased the fish from the fisherman and left it in the river. As soon as he left the fish, he saw his lost diamond was there in the water. He became very happy. Seeing his missing diamond there, he shouted loudly, "I got it! I got it!" At that time, the thief was bathing in the river. The thief thought perhaps the Brahman recognized him, so he came to the Brahman and pleaded to forgive him. He immediately returned that money to the Brahman that he had stolen. The poor Brahman became very surprised and happy too. He could understand that it was the result of his good work. Though he saved the life of a helpless fish, some miracles happened in his life. Some days passed like this. That Brahman became very rich. He became very famous person in that village. One day, again Arjun saw that Brahman in the village, but this time the Brahman was no longer a poor. He had become very rich and he was on a chariot in a kingly get-up. Seeing the Brahman in this condition, Arjun became very surprised. He asked to Sri Krishna, "O my Lord, please tell me, how is this possible? I gave him so much money, but his life didn't change. Again, I gave him a piece of diamond. Still, his life didn't change. But you gave him only 2 rupees, and his life changed." Then Lord Shri Krishna said, "Arjun, this is the result of his good work. He saved the life of a fish, so God kind on him. My dear Arjun, never forget that our deed decides our destiny. If you will do good work, then you will be fetched good result. Otherwise, you will suffer for your bad deed. As you sow, as you reap. So never forget to do good work in your life." My dear friends, this story tells us that we should be a gentle and kind person in our life. We should not be rude and cruel. Though we are human beings, so we should do some kind work for the society. My dear friends, if you like this story, then do a like and share this story to your friends, those who want to learn English. The main motive of this story is to learn English easily in an interesting way. So please subscribe our channel to listen such type of interesting stories which will help you to change your life. Thank you.